fellow diamond painting addicts, and welcome back to Diamond Painting Anonymous. Not really sure how to categorize today's video, maybe just information. So I'll probably stick it in my tools video, but I'm a very inquisitive person by nature, and I can't resist when given a mystery to kind of dig in and solve it. So if you guys are subscribers, you hopefully will have seen my crystal mosaic seahorse, my full crystal canvas that I did, and I'll put a link up there to it so you can go check it out if you haven't. And it kind of started me down this rabbit hole of crystals. Now, I have done a lot of special kits. I've done my little passport holder here that I use to hold release papers. I've done several journals. I've done lots of special drill kind of paintings that have ended up with me having lots of these drills left over. So for the most part, what I had done previously was just stick them in these Tic Tac boxes and just kind of try and eyeball the color and, stick them together for the most part as closely as I could. I wasn't overly concerned about it because, these kinds of kits, they don't really come with DMC numbers or anything generally. It's just take these rhinestones, stick them down. So I have a lot of different colors. I probably have close to, probably, I don't know, 30 of these Tic Tac bottles now with various colors in them after doing the mosaic seahorse. And so I suddenly thought, well, maybe I should start keeping them rather than just by eyeball by DMC code if I could find it. And I couldn't really find it. The canvas itself, the seahorse canvas, just had the number on the canvas, and then it had, a crystal number. And I wasn't having any luck finding codes anywhere that converted these crystal numbers to DMC codes. Now, I have purchased drills. You can see here, these are square crystal rhinestones that I have purchased from Shimmering Canvases that actually come with the DMC number listed. I mean, that's how I purchased them, is these should match those colors. So I have several of these, but then I got to thinking, do I have any of these that are the same color that I could match? Have I thrown some of these in together that don't match, etc., etc.? So in the interest of, finding out information, in that video, when I finished it, I asked you guys if any of you had any idea, what the codes were and where I could find them. So some of you very helpfully sent me a link, several links actually. So one of the things that you guys sent to me was this list of crystal codes. Now, some of you said it came from a YouTuber, some of you said it came from Crystal Canvas Arts Designs Facebook group. I don't know who made this chart up, but it is floating out around in the internet sphere of things. So you can find this in a myriad of different places. And basically someone has just gone in and listed all of the numbers of the crystals and then put their corresponding DMC codes. However, as you can see on here, there are some pretty large chunks here where there are numbers missing. And so I got to thinking, well, is there a way that I could find these? There's got to be a code somewhere, right? Because they're manufacturing these canvases. Somewhere there's got to be a conversion. And so I just went out and did some searching on my own on the internet. And what I found on the internet was basically a bifold card that opens up and has, it's red. And on one page, there is, on the left-hand side, there's 5 columns, and there's 5 columns on the right side. 1 to 5 on the left side, 6 to 10 on the right side. And it has a long list of numbers, and it's got 3 columns under each little heading. So under the number 1, it's got 1 column with the crystal numbers, and then it's got another column with the DMC conversion number, and then it's got a third column where you could actually stick, you know, samples of the DMC or of the crystal rhinestones so that you can compare colors. So I had actually seen that image before and hadn't really thought about it other than, oh, that might be nice. And then I got to thinking, well, if that's out there, can I see, what can I see off of it? And so basically what I did was print it out. This is just a print of an image that I got off of the internet. Because as I was going through, I noticed a couple of things about this chart. Not only does it have lots of gaps that I feel like should be filled in, there are supposedly 175 different crystal rhinestone colors, and this is not all of them, obviously. Even if you add up, you know, if you take out the ones, there's just too many chunks. So, and also I found an error in this chart. I'm trying to remember which one it was. It has the number of, let's see, 799 was listed twice. So here under number 57, it says the DMC is 799. But it's also listed as the code for 167. So I thought, well, that can't be right, because why would you have two crystals that are the exact same DMC? What would be the point of that? So the fact that it wasn't all 175 colors and the fact that there was an error, I thought, okay, let me go out and do some searching. So I found this color card basically. Now, I will put a link in the description below. You actually can buy this card off of Amazon. However, they want $20 for it. And personally, for me, I want the information off of it, not the card itself. So I'm not going to spend $20 for it. If you want to, knock yourself out and go right ahead. This is a card that is originally from a Chinese company called DLYTG. So you might be able to find this card for cheaper on AliExpress if you know how to do that. I just did a search for that DLYTG company. It comes up with AliExpress, but you have to have an account with AliExpress or it won't let you go any further. I don't have an account, so I didn't go any further. So what I decided to do was to take this list, and you can see I've made notes all over it, to figure out what is what, because it is a good enough image that I can read. For example, here, code number 67. So crystal 67 corresponds to DMC 3856. And you can see here that someone has filled out this card with the crystal rhinestones. Now, the thing about this image is the first page you can see. However, all the images that I've been able to find, it was skewed when they took a photo of it. And so these last four got cut off and they were very hard to read. On the second page, where it should see 6 to 10, you can only see 6 to 9, and then 10 has gotten cut off as well. You can read the first 3 or 4 numbers, but you can't see any of the rest of it. So I was able to find this image more complete and to see the numbers that are on this site using that Amazon link for the purchase of this card. Essentially, this whole column here is blank, just like here. It does have numbers in it, but nothing was filled out. It has the crystal codes, but there are no corresponding DMC codes. And you can see here, right here where it starts at number 88, these all go down. All of these crystal numbers here, these are Chinese characters. I don't read Chinese, so I have no idea what they say, other than a couple of them say AB. So I don't know if that means at some point those were AB DMC drills. I don't know. So those I just marked as not having a corresponding crystal code. And I think I figured out all 175. So basically what I did was take this list as a starting point, and then I went through this entire image, checking every single number to make sure that that was what was on this list. And if I found any discrepancies, then I tried to change it. So I told you I found an error that 799 was on here twice under 57 and 167. So in looking at this sheet, number 57, which is right here on the sheet, it actually says the number is 779, not 799. So I have corrected that on the sheet that I made. Now, there is an error on this card, which also makes things interesting because numbers 61 and 81 on this card here, it says 61 is 312 and 81 is 3755. So in looking at this one, when I was finding the number, let me find it, it's on this page. Here it says number 81 is 3755 and you can see the color. And then here it's got 312, which is 61 on this sheet. But on this one, it also says 81. So I don't know if that's an error in the manufacturer of the card itself that has since been fixed. I don't know. But I just decided, since that had already been done, that I would go with it. So I have left that 61 as 312 and 81 as 3755. So there's another error that I found on this sheet, and that is this DMC code 964. There is a number symbol, but there is no Arabic numeral to go with it. So like you can see right above it, it says the number 42. I hope you can see above it. It says the number 42 is the DMC code 3808. But then this just has the number and 964. So what I did was go through and look at, well, these are grouped basically in color families. So 958 and 959, when I looked up what those DMC codes were, 958 is sea green dark, 959 is sea green medium. So I feel like this is maybe sea green light, which would be DMC code 100 and no, it would be number 178, but it would be DMC code 964. So that made sense to me because several times when they're in color families like this, the numbers will be all together. So like over here, you've got 166, 167, 168, 169 all together. So it would make sense for me that 178, 179, 180, 181, 182, 183 were all together. So I have used my best guess there. Now, personally for me, this is more of just an information gathering kind of thing. I don't ever intend to buy this color card and go through the process of putting my drills on here to color match. That's just not how I do my spares. I don't separate die lots or anything like that when it comes to just regular drills. So I don't anticipate that I'm going to be doing that with the crystal drills either. I don't have a sheet like this for my regular drills. I'm not planning to have a sheet like this for my crystal drills. But in the interest of having as much complete information as I could, I wanted to see if I could locate all 175 colors. So I was able to make my best guess here on the one that's missing a number. That number had already kind of been decided for me. I found this error. Oh, and there was yet another error on this page where again, it's just got the number symbol with no number. So again, in looking at 3842 and trying to figure it out, my best guess is this is number 43. So if you discover that I'm wrong about any of my guesses, please feel free to share. I was also, through the use of some judicious Googling and kind of, zooming in and some playing around with images, I was able to figure out what numbers these were, even though they were kind of cut off in the image in one place, and kind of cobble it together from another place. So I've managed to fill in that. And I went down every single row and filled out, again, to the best of my ability, what numbers are what DMC codes. There are still numbers that don't have DMC codes that don't appear on these sheets anywhere. Even in these ones where, it has a code, but there's no DMC listed, there's some numbers that are just missing. For example, the number 99 does not appear anywhere on either of these sheets. So I don't know why you would have a number 100 crystal, but not a number 99. I don't know. And 99 is not the only one. There's 5 or 6 colors at least. Well, there's more than that don't appear for whatever reason. I don't know if that has to do with how they were manufactured or what. But basically what I did was then take all of my sleuthing and put it together in a nice, pretty chart for myself. So I have a crystal to DMC conversion chart. I have all of the numbers of the crystals listed here with their corresponding DMC codes. And then if I could not find a DMC code, it is listed in red, that it has no corresponding DMC code. And I did fix those errors I mentioned. So I fixed on this list, number 57 is correctly listed as 779. And 167 is listed as 799. I did add my best guesses about the fact that 178 is probably 964. I did leave the way it was with 61 being 312 and 81 being 3755. I did add in, like I said, every code that I can find. So this should be all 175 crystal code numbers with their corresponding DMCs. So, again, this is what I was able to find out and, able to fill in the chart much more completely. There are still some gaps, but that is because those numbers don't seem to exist in crystal. So I'm not sure why the codes are here because I can't find them. I mean, everything says there's only 175 crystal codes or crystal colors, but the number goes up to 218. So I don't know how that happened, but it did. Now, I did also go through and verify that none of my DMC codes are repeated. So I shouldn't have any errors in here that I've duplicated something by accident. So, I want to share it with you guys. I am going to be putting a link in the description below to a PDF of this chart so that if you want to share it, you may. It's crazy to me, again, you could order this chart, card chart, color card, whatever you want to call it, off of Amazon, possibly off of AliExpress for less money if you want to. I mean, if this is what you want to do and have a chart that you can refer to so that you've got a visual of all your colors, go for it. That's just not how I work. But I was able to use these images to make this hopefully correct and complete list of all 175 crystal colors with their corresponding DMC numbers. So if there are any errors in here, they are probably mine, but I did the best that I could with the information that I had. And I'm actually pretty proud of myself that I was able to do the sleuthing that I was. So thank you to those that pointed me to some resources that I could use. I did do a bit more digging on my own, but yeah, I did a bunch of internet sleuthing because I wanted to, and now you guys get to be the lucky recipients of it. Yay! And I don't care if you guys want to share this. All I ask is that you please not sell it. I feel like this information should be out there for free. If you want to buy the card, then there's already some place that you can buy that if you really want that information. But I really did this as a kind of service to the diamond painting community so that if anybody wanted the information, they had it in kind of a quick and easy to read format. So again, I will put a link to the PDF below, and we're on the honor system here. Like I said, I'm gonna, just put this out there for people to click on the link and pick it up. be kind. Share it with your neighbors. Sharing information is always good, right? The more you know. So there was my great internet search and my crystal to DMC color code conversion journey. Hopefully you found this interesting. Hopefully you will find some use from this work of mine, and hopefully you will share it with others who might find it valuable as well. Again, thank you so much, guys. These are actually the kind of videos that I love to do because you guys have sent me down a rabbit hole and I learned so much along the way, and it's super interesting. So I'm very appreciative of that. Before you leave, guys, don't forget to do all the things. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification icon so that you can be informed of future uploads. And as always, guys, thanks so much for watching.